Are you prepared to release those names, yes or no?
No, Mr. Chair.
It's treason season here in Ottawa. I wish I was kidding, but a recent bombshell intelligence report highlights that parliamentarians are willfully and knowingly aiding foreign state actors. So what does that mean? Well, they might be getting money, they might be getting trips, they might have quid pro quo deals that gets them some sort of access. All it means is that they're not working in the best interests of Canadians. I am not one of them, but I have colleagues in the House of Commons that have betrayed our country, and it's simply unacceptable. But what's worse is this Liberal government actually knows the names of these parliamentarians, and they are refusing to disclose it.
Are you prepared to release those names, yes or no?
No, Mr. Chair.
You will not release the names of members, elected members, operating in the House of Commons. Do you think Canadians have a right to know, yes or no?
The idea that there's a perfect list of names that is entirely reliable that should be released to the public is simply irresponsible.
The Liberals have tried to just say, oh, move along. We couldn't possibly tell Canadians the truth. We had Ms. O'Connell go so far in committee to say, oh, boo-hoo, just move along.
Throwing around fake sanctimonious accusations about numbers of compromised MPs, what that might mean.
But mysteriously, what hasn't been reported by the mainstream media is that the mainstream media and executives are actually on the take. So I have the report right here, and as reading through it, it only took me until page 16 to find this bombshell, that members of the Canadian media and media executives are getting paid by the authoritarian, hostile communist regime in Beijing. So let me just read it to you here. Section 32 on page 16. According to the intelligence community, the PRC was the most capable actor in this context, interfering with Canadian media content via direct engagement with Canadian media executives and journalists. 6 sentences were deleted to remove injurious or privileged information. The sentences described examples of the PRC paying to publish media articles without attribution, sponsoring media travel to the PRC, pressuring journalists to withdraw articles, and creating false accounts on social media to spread disinformation. I am horrified that there are parliamentarians on the take from foreign state actors, but I'm equally as concerned about the fact that our media, the fourth estate, the one that's supposed to provide a check and balance on government, is literally taking money from countries with authoritarian communist regimes. So my question is, who is it? Just like I think we should know the names of the parliamentarians that are working directly with foreign hostile governments, I'd like to know what Canadian media outlets are on the take. If you took money or vacations or peddled influence on behalf of a foreign adversary government, that is not okay. You have interfered with our democratic process. It is unacceptable, and in my view, it's treasonous. I think what bothers me is the self-righteousness. I can remember days gone by when we had journalists doing exposés, deep investigative work to hold the government to account. Some journalists made their entire careers on breaking stories.
Who asked you to come here and see me?
I found out you were here.
Tell me how you found out.
I dig around. And I really believe that when something has gone awry or askew, that we have the responsibility to our viewers to get answers.
But when on page 16 of an intelligence report, it says that the media itself is on the take from foreign state actors, and all we hear is crickets, this is not okay, guys. So I have 2 simple requests that I think Canadians can get behind. Number 1, the Liberals need to release the names of the parliamentarians that are referenced in this report. And number 2, the media needs to step up and say whether or not any members of their executive or any journalists that are employed by them have taken a single dollar or benefit from a hostile regime anywhere in the world. I'd like them to directly say that they have no involvement in this. I'd like them to use those investigative skills that they so happily do on a regular basis on themselves and get to the bottom of who within the Canadian media are actually taking directly money from our adversaries. I, like all members of Parliament, swore an oath to this country. That has to mean something. This week, the entire aspect of our Parliament and our democracy has been brought into question, aided and abetted by a media that seems to be in bed with other foreign state governments. This cannot continue. So before Parliament rises for the summer, I hope two things happen. One, the Liberals release the list of names of parliamentarians implicated. And two, members of the media come clean and say whether or not they've taken money from foreign state actors. That's the only way we are going to have a clean and fair carbon tax election next year. And as always, thanks for watching.